Welcome to Connecting Greeks, a streaming comedy show and podcast designed to explore and enhance Greek culture around the world. Join hosts Angelo, Adi, and Foti as they bring you fun and interesting guests from all walks of Greek life. Grab a cafedaki and join us.
I want to welcome to Connecting Greeks this week. This is the dysfunctional episode we're going to do, but it's good because we always adapt to our environment. And I'm here with my co-hosts, our co-hosts, Ari Kalos.
Hello.
And Spiros Stathas. And like every week, we strive to bring the Greek community together with different things from different people from all around the world. These guys are my peeps from Canada, and good guys. I was in Toronto on the weekend. We were doing shows. I was doing shows in Toronto. It was great. And I'm working with Spiro, who's got this interesting concept. He's a restaurateur called the Greek Freak. And the food is fantastic. And he has copyright the name in Canada. Mm-hmm. This is. And Spiro's part of New Wave Productions. And the other guy who I thought was fucking hilarious because we were screaming at him all day is Dimitris Kardaris, who's also artist named Dim's part of GWA. I don't know what GWA was, what it means. He's going to tell us. So we're just going to get into it. Welcome, Spiro and Dimitri. Welcome to Connecting Greeks.
It's a pleasure having us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Our pleasure, boys. Thank you for joining us.
We're very excited.
So when you guys told me, because what's happening right now, stand-up comedy is really taking off. And when I was there about 7-8 years ago, it was just kind of on the fringe. And now it's really taken off with everything going on. Spiro, when you told me about Dimitri and yourselves being involved in hip hop, years ago, I listened to a band from Greece, a hip hop group called Naskoubria.
Yeah.
You know who they are, Naskoubria. Yeah. So that were hilarious. And this is going back maybe 20 years ago, hip hopping. But now with the new generation of stuff going on, you guys, there's a little movement that's happening in Toronto. So tell us a little bit about it. How'd you guys get into this? Like tell us, because we're all curious about it.
So, it all started a long time ago. I think about maybe 5 years. Right now, the Greek hip hop is growing. It's probably at we can say it's at its peak almost. Right now, every top track in Greece is number one. It's trending. And we come from Greece. So we obviously live in Toronto, Canada, but we lived in Greece for a very long time. So we thought that we loved the music. We loved everything that they were doing. But we thought that let's bring, the whole vibe in Toronto too. Let's try to see if the people in Toronto will like this type of music, right? And so far, that's, it's catching up. I think people are adapting to it. I think people are starting to listen to it. Not as much as they should, because once you go to Greece, it's just all they play in the clubs.
Really?
But it's always you have.
So we're trying to bring the wave here in Toronto now. That's why we made the New Wave.
Yeah. So New Wave Production is an idea that we came up with. That's what you were saying, Angelo, as well. So New Wave Production is the idea that we had about bringing international artists that are involved with the Greek music. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to showcase them. So whether it's rap, whether it's any other type of music that they might be interested in, is what we're trying to do with New Wave. But overall, I feel that, again, as I was saying, the music in Canada and even in the States, the Greek music or the Greek rap, if you want to say, it's a little bit behind, but it's getting there.
It's interesting because we're so conditioned in the diaspora, like Ari, Foti, and I were born, that we love Greek music and we love Greek artists. But I got to tell you, I'm secretly a fan of Greek rap. I like it.
Why? Why secretly?
Well, because nobody was listening to it.
True. Well, our parents,
right? Nobody listened to it. But now it's changed. And the thing I'm looking at, guys, is it indicative of the times now? How things have moved. I saw it with stand up, and I see it with rap. Because you're talking about rap music is poetry about the times. You guys are talking about, what's happening, TC and Veni. And I was always engaged with that. And I can see why people will connect to that. Do you find a lot of the stuff that you're doing, you and Dimitri are doing, and within your company and stuff, do you find that a lot of it is based on, is it family? Is it economy? Is it, Greeks? I mean, we have a lot of stories to tell, don't we?
Yeah, we have a lot of stories. I think mainly the rap has to do with how you grew up, your environment, the struggles that you were having, when you early starting, whether it's the game, the rap, et cetera, et cetera. So the stories that we have behind it has to do with real life, right? What we're living. What's also cool and unique about it is that we're bringing a little bit the Canadian style of how we're doing this, right? So we're not just rapping to fit in Greece. We're trying to be able to represent where we're from. We're talking about Toronto. We're talking about Montreal. We're talking about, the Raptors, stuff that are current for us here that maybe in Greece that they're not aware of. And, they're listening it through the music that we're trying to produce. And now slowly they're starting to learn that there's Greeks in Toronto and they're doing this and different things that, the Toronto rap has to offer as well. So we're bringing also a kind of a different sound to Greece as well.
Cool. Now, let me ask you, are you finding now, because I don't know, I know there are a few, but I don't know of any Greek rappers in the U.S. Unless Forti and Adi know.
There's, like you guys were saying before, if you're in certain circles, and guys, tell me if I'm right or wrong, because you guys would know better than I do. But in certain circles, like Greek hip hop and Greek rap is like very well known, like the ultimate music. That's what people listen to. That's what they're doing. And I think there's other circles of Greeks where they're not that familiar. As far as me and Foti, because we were involved in a lot of nightlife and event stuff, we do know of a few that have been doing it for like a long time. And like, it's great. Like we've always followed them. And obviously we're going to follow you guys now because we love it. And we've had events and we've had concerts and we've brought these guys on and we've done like all this stuff. And it was like so exciting, so different. You always have that standard like Bouzouki and the Flowers and whatever, but like to see a Greek rapper get up on stage and really take control of that audience, there's nothing like it. And
to your point, Ari, as well, if I can mention that, these circles that you mentioned is basically based on the experience of these artists. There's a combination of the, keeping it Greek, but where you're growing up at the same token. I know that you're from Greece and you came to Toronto. Ari and I interact with individuals who are Greek Americans that grew up in urban areas. So Ari and I both grew up in Boston, very urban. We were exposed to the hip hop scene from the 80s and 90s and so on. So we understand that culture because we were assimilated to it as kids going to multicultural public schools, right? So as Greeks, we were exposed to hip hop as young kids. So as part of our upbringing. And then we noticed that we met other Greeks, New York, Chicago, that actually had the same upbringing. So there was different circles of hip hoppers back then as well. And it was interesting to us to see as we grew older and we went through the different networks, how many artists were actually so passionate to share their music through hip hop as Greek Americans. And it's so refreshing to see that the both of you will continue that legacy of bringing Greek hip hop to the scene here in, I would say, North America, because you're in Canada. But, most of our experience have been with Greek hip hoppers, whether it's New York, Boston, or Chicago. But this is great.
I just figured it out, guys. GWA, Greeks with attitude. Am I right? Is that what it is, Dimitri?
It is that too, yeah. But it's
I was sitting here going GWA.
Is that a spinoff of NWA?
Of course.
Obviously.
Well, 40.
I didn't want to speak for them. I didn't want to speak for them. I just wanted to make a reference.
Greek World Association too, because we're Greeks outside of Greek. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. So that's the whole thing. Because when you hear rap, you always think Efaga Peponi, Petak Salamoni, Pigame Metaki, ideme do Golo Godroni. It's always like he's trying to get rap.
Well, Angelo.
I don't think that's.
Don't take the thunder away.
And Dimitri think I'm special needs right now. No,
you're good, man. You're good.
But guys, I'm just going to tell you what you're doing is awesome, because I can't tell you when I first somebody told me about Greek rap. I'm talking a long, long time ago. I don't even know when it was, early 2000s. I was like, Greek and rap, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And then when I heard it, like,
Great.
it was like, it's almost like I wouldn't have been surprised if like Greeks originated it. It flowed. The language flows, which, because I don't have any rap skill whatsoever, in my head, I was like, Greeks can't rap. The language flows. And if you're a good Greek rapper, I mean, you could make it work really well. So it's really cool. And I think there's a lot more room to grow. And I think, you know, especially you guys in Toronto, like, you guys could kill it in Canada, and then you guys got to come down here and kind of do your thing with all of us here in New York, Chicago, all over the place.
Yeah, I think it's involved. Like, I think it's slowly picking up in North America. I think it was when we're talking about the past and rappers that we are aware of in North America, we found that a lot of them, they do a little bit of comedy rap, just like Angelo was doing, right? They were trying to bring something funny. They were trying to be able to fit in. And then obviously that's not the approach that we have. It's a more serious concept. It's actually a sound that when the Greeks now in Greece hear it, they can relate, right? Mm-hmm. There's no, let's just say, like, it's very clean Greek. It's bars that they understand, they can relate. And that is very important because we feel that a lot of North American rappers, trappers, or whoever is trying to bring this is that they really don't fit in the Greek rap. They see it as being something very different, not professional, right?
I'm going to give you the exact word you're looking for. It's novelty rap, the way they're doing it. Like, to bring that kind of humor, you can't take it seriously. I mean, you could be a good rapper and make it funny, but people aren't going to take it as serious rap music because it's more novelty, right?
Correct. So they're not going to take it as serious. And now we feel that we've been working with Greek artists as well. One of the new song that we released is with a well-known rapper in Greece as well. So we're trying to be able also to fit in. And at that point, we're trying to be able to bring that message to the Greeks in Greece as well, because let's be honest, they have to listen to us as well. They have to be able to know where we're coming from. What is from our lyrics, we're trying to be able to represent our areas. And from there, we're going to grow. And again, the idea of New Wave is that there's a lot of artists that are doing this that we're not aware of because it's difficult, right? It's difficult to promote your music. It takes a lot of consistency, money. And from New Wave, I feel that that's what we're doing. There could be somebody in Boston that we're not aware of, but we can bring them on board and together we will grow.
Oh, yeah. The collaboration is like the collaborations I've seen amongst Greek rappers is amazing because you know, it's always good to appreciate and respect others, especially in this kind of genre, because, you know, you guys are a small little group. There's not like 1,000 Greek rappers out there. It's a small group. And if you guys do it well and you guys collaborate and you guys make cool stuff and you do all this stuff, like, it could really be that whole like new thing and that next wave, especially for the younger generations coming up.
I was just going to say that, Ari, they might be a small network, but there's a huge audience that's building out there. As Greek Americans and Greek Canadians, you know, there's more. I mean, we're like in our, I don't want to date us, but we're not close to our 50s. But there's more of us that are in that 20 plus range, 30 plus range that's out there. So the audience is out there, right?
Oh, yeah.
100%. Even Angelo. I mean, Angelo is going to be in our video clip soon. Hopefully, he can come down with his cigars, and we want to get everybody involved. It's a concept that if collectively we work together, I think that we can do a lot, right? And uniting everybody will be the mission that we think so far. We have. It's not only Dimitri. We have other artists. His brother Stathas as well. That's part of the GWA. We also have another artist, MOS, that is part of New Wave. So the idea is also to bring different styles from them, right? Not just have one person in one specific style. So when we talk about rap, it's not the heavy rap. It's trap. It's more melodical stuff as well. Something to catch it. A dance kind of concept or something. Yeah. You know, that North American vibe that we're having. So we're bringing that uniqueness in Greece.
Hey, Spiro, what's MOS?
So MOS, I believe it's his initials. I believe it was his
initials. Okay.
It's he's an artist that he's been doing this for a very long time. He's part of the new track as well that we have for that, which is on YouTube. Cool. He has his own kind of style, his own music, and we're doing collaborations with GWA. That's the idea. Nice. And also doing collaborations also with the Greek artists from Greece and different other artists that we find from North America. We found a few. There are a lot of them, but there's a few that we want to work with, and we're building that network.
You know what would be cool? I thought about this. When Aerosmith was falling out after Aerosmith, he teamed up with Run DMC.
Run DMC.
Would it be cool? Let me ask you, has this been done? That a Greek singing artist would team up with a rap with one of those.
I mean,
I saw what Aerosmith came back because of Run DMC, Walk This Way. Remember that?
Yeah, I mean that's old school, and
still it brought back Aerosmith.
That brought
two different genres together
when we were little. But I think there's Greek artists doing stuff like that. I think I'm not 100%.
I haven't seen any.
Like hot Greek female singer with the rap artist. I'm pretty sure I've seen.
Yeah, there is.
Right? Yeah.
How about it like an old legend Greek artist with a rap?
Legend? There's no track with like
that would be fucking dope. Because Shirley Bassey did a thing called History Repeating Itself with the Propeller Heads. And that was cool. She's like Dame, and it was a great collaboration. Like, imagine taking old school Greek song and wrapping it up with them. That'd be fucking cool. That'd be two worlds coming together, you know? I'm just thinking, I mean, I'm not a rapper. I'm just thinking.
The thing is, it's difficult too, though, because the sounds, they don't match, you know, like the old school.
That's where you guys come in. You got to make it match.
Yeah,
Creating
you gotta find the tempo, but it's also if they do original music, I don't know if you guys sample or not, but original music, and then if you use an old school song, they're gonna have to pay out like all this money, and sometimes it's not worth it. But again, I don't know. I'm just saying from stuff that I've heard.
Well, look at this one. Sestisa mi agonia. Horio. Imunaneo palikari. And then all of a sudden, I'm telling you, there's something there.
Right.
I'm losing my fucking mind. That's what's
I got a couple questions for the boys.
I think Angelo, we have a spot for you for a new wave. You can come inside and you can do your own thing. You know,
things like this.
Yeah.
I want to ask you guys, is there a lexicon that goes with Greek rap? Because when I was in Greece last summer, I saw my cousin goes, "Yo, Horio, what's up?" He called me Horio, which I thought was so cool, right? Like village, like brother. Is there a lexicon that comes out with Greek rap? The way they show, I bump that, I'd ride that, I hit that, I'd stick that. With Greek rap, what would it be?
Yeah, so basically that's what we were talking about earlier too. That in Greece they have their street slang that you're referring to, right? So some words that in North America we don't know, we're not aware of. That is where the cool part happens with us, because we lived in Greece, because we're aware of also that lifestyle, and we're bringing also the Canadian. So we can actually have those slang words that they use there, they can understand it, where nobody in North America uses this. So for sure they have their own street sign. I mean, something like a reference, I don't know exactly to tell you of what words they use, right? But they do. So that's what the beauty about it. And that's what I was saying, that a lot of the Greek artists, they don't, or Greeks, they don't really want to listen to North America because we don't have those lyrics in our songs. But now this is what we're bringing. Because let's be honest, when a Greek sings English, it's not good, right? So if a Greek rapper starts rapping in English, you're like, oh my God, what is he saying? Very basic. He's not using the slang words, right? It doesn't really sound good. So the way that we will make fun of that, they make fun of now the Greeks that are trying to do it in North America.
Right. Right. No, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think it's a movement, and Ari's right. It's going in a way again now where people want to hear this stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think I think that's where it's going now, because if it's Greek rap, I listen to it. I've listened to some of it, which I always think is not hilarious. I find it interesting because it's a different perspective. Because Greeks do have a different perspective on life, on family, on everything. So it's only fitting that, you guys would be doing that. But now that we're children of the diaspora, because think about it, we're not 100% Canadian or American, and we're not 100% Greek either now. We're in the middle. We're in the middle here. That's where we are. So a lot of people connect to that. And the fact that you guys are from Greece, you understand all that kind of stuff. True?
Yeah, we're right in the middle. We're right in the middle. And I think that's something that we're working on right now that we think that will be really good is that, remember when I was saying how a Greek artist won't be able to sing English because it's not going to sound good. So now what we have the ability now to do like a crossover, let's say Greek and English together, where the Greek will sound really good and the English is going to sound really good. So this way we're grabbing Angelo that likes the English part, but also now you're having the Greek version of it as well. So collabing that together is very, very, very unique. It hasn't really been done. You hear it all the time in the States, right? The whole Spanish rap and how obviously their population is a lot bigger, but you don't hear that Greek one, right? So bringing this might be able to even open. I think we're more interested to open doors here. So doing collaborations with older like English sounds and then remixing it to a Greek version of it and then passing it to a Greek, I think will be better than getting a Greek one and doing that remix because they can do that. We can do something different from Canada and the States, right?
Yeah, you have a unique perspective. You have a very unique perspective with where you are, where you're from.
Because is it like Biggie or Tupac where they would get into it? Do the Greek rappers get into it like that? Like, you know, like, μου πήρες τη γυναίκα και θα σου κάψω το σπίτι. Το σκύλο και τρέχει το βρύσι. All that shit you can do. Does it get personal? Does it get sexual?
Wait a minute, Angelo.
I don't know. I'm curious.
You sound like the Greek Suge Knight.
Suge Knight, I know. I got my Buddha out here. Yo,
East Coast, West Coast. They could do north and south or something.
I'm going to call Anne Shuggy from now on.
You know, Spiro can be Sparti Athena.
But I just want to make a comment to what the boys are just saying, that opens up the doors to a market, not just in North America, but also Australia, everywhere. South Africa.
Oh, it's the whole diaspora.
Greeks everywhere, right? Whereas the opposite just really contains themselves to Greece. In a sense.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that was the case. I think in the beginning when we started saying, okay, we're going to do some Greek rap and we're going to try to be able to relate more to the people in Greece. And then we said, wait, we're from Toronto, outside of Greece, and we have to bring this vibe. And it's something that we can do it better than what they can do it there. Because again, there's artists here that 100% would like to collaborate with a Greek sound. It's not been done, right? In a bigger scale. It's been done in a very smaller scale, but achieving that will be our ultimate goal as well. And that's freshness for Greece.
Can I ask you guys, how long have you been not like interested in this, but how long have you been really doing it? How long have you been like together or really in this scene?
So for the boys, for Dimitri and the boys, has been about 4 years. They're still young. They're still just developing now. The concept of new wave was created recently, just about even 2 months ago. But in general, the kids and the boys and certain artists that we work, it hasn't been that long. It's about 3 years, I would say 4 years that we're releasing songs. We did a lot of work in the back end. We were very careful. We wanted to get better before we start releasing our songs, to get better, to start getting our sounds. And I think we reached that point now that we can start releasing our music in the vision.
But that's cool because you kind of are in your, I don't want to say infancy, but like you're in that beginning stage where you have nowhere to go but up, and you have nowhere to go but get better. And if people are enjoying your music now, imagine what's going to happen in a year. Imagine what's going to happen in 2 years. Imagine what's going to happen when you find other people to collaborate with. Imagine what's going to happen when your style changes. Maybe your style changes in like a year or two. Maybe something else comes out and you guys are into that. So it's really cool that this is kind of your beginning, and I can't wait to see like what comes in the future, which is it's going to be amazing. I'm sure.
Yeah, and I feel that as we grow, and also we could do another show again. You can meet the other artists that we have in New Wave as well, so they can start maybe introducing themselves and start getting out there, so they can promote themselves as well, and also for them to get known. And everything is an experience, and I think that's what it really comes down to: being consistent, working on it, and I feel that's what we're doing right now, right?
Yeah.
Well, if the rap doesn't work out for Dimitri, he's a good actor. The assistant, the rest, I kept mopping around my feet. I was yelling at him all day. It was hilarious. At the Greek Freak, we were doing that, and I thought it was hilarious because I got a kick out of him, and I started talking, and I talked to Spiro, and he goes, "Yeah, we're doing this, but we're rappers." And I thought, that's so fucking cool, man. You guys are rappers. I got to get you guys on the show. with the guys. I mean, we're always looking for. The thing is that I think now people can appreciate the entertainment more now than ever. After 2 years of fucking hell that we couldn't go anywhere and do anything now, it gives now I think as things settle down, skeptics tora que less all up puperasa metora. We got to talk about it now. Whether it's comedy, whether it's movies, whether it's podcasts, whether it's rap, people want to hear it now more now than ever.
And we just came out of like some crazy times, and I'm sure there's a lot to write about, rap about. If people are ready to kind of start getting out there and enjoying life and enjoying music and being with other people that enjoy the same things. Do you guys have any plans for like live shows? Do you do live shows up in Toronto? Or you guys want to do touring in the future?
Yeah. So what we did is, that's a good question. What we did is we started, we're doing we want to do about 4 or 5 events a year. And we're inviting Greek artists from Greece. So just recently we were working with a rapper called Bosikan. He was supposed to come and perform in Toronto, and unfortunately, because of the COVID restrictions that we had, he wasn't able to travel. So we're on the go talking now with, top artists in Greece that are involved with the rap and that kind of style, and bringing them here to see them live. And from there to see them live, anybody that is from New Wave or any artists from North America that are doing something similar, they can showcase their music as well. So the events is there. Right now, Toronto and Montreal are the 2 areas that we have focused on, and in the States, there are a few people that we've been in contact that are interested as well to host these nights. So I think it will be very good to, again, showcase our music and to bring, and also these artists from Greece, even though they're very big in Greece, a lot of people don't know them here. And it's very weird. It's when you go to Greece after is when, you have the young crowd that goes to Greece. And they're like, do you know Bostika? No. But when he goes to Greece, he's in the clubs, he's hearing it. Then he comes back and he's like, oh my God, now I know Bostika. So it's it's kind of moving, right? So I think as the years progress, because unfortunately, the music here is a little bit old school, right? When you go to Greek events or Greek clubs, they're listening to, I don't know, an old school kind of sound, Tiftedelia, or maybe Zebekika at the end. In Greece and clubs, that's not what they play, right?
No.
So, no, if you want to do that, that's a bouzoukia style that you will go and do that, right?
Just to back up what you just said, Foti and I, we used to go to Greek nights. We used to do Greek nights. All the Greek American kids would go and do the Zebekika and all this stuff. My cousins come from Greece, and I bring them to the Greek night, and they're like, "What the hell are you people doing?" Like with this, and I know we do it in Greece. And I'm like, we're not in Greece. We're not Greek. Like we're Greek American. So we want to connect to our Greek culture. You guys are already in there. Right. But it was so funny. Like my cousin, she just looked around and she's like, "What are you guys doing? Like this is a Greek night? I thought it was going to be like, regular dance music and all this like stuff." And she's like, "It's just all Greek and like Zebekika and stuff." Yeah. So you're 100% right.
That's why Ari, it bridges the gap. This is what they're doing. And I mean, even for me, I see it in comedy because a lot of the old sayings we talk about in the show, they forgot about them in Greece. My hook in it was I translated them all. And that's why the Greeks were so enamored by it. They're like, oh, that makes sense. You're in North America. You grew up listening to all these sayings. I had to translate them with my dyslexia. And that's where the fun is. Same with Spiro and Dimitri and their crew. I think they're realizing now that, well, this is the movement in Greece. This is what we're listening to. We're still doing, Zebekias and stuff, which is fine. Don't get me wrong. I don't want people think we're hating Greek music. We're not. We love it.
No. It's just us thinking that's like Greek night. Greeks don't think that way. It's totally different for them. So that's actually a good example of like you guys kind of doing something that's not the old school standard, doing something that's more new, more modern, more, it's like an evolution of music because hip hop, grew out of like a certain demographic here in the States, in the Bronx and on the playgrounds for, talking about their struggles and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And that's a style. You guys aren't going to rap about growing up in the Bronx, but the style is rapping about your troubles, rapping about what you had to go through, rapping about what you see. Like it's a style of music that could affect any human. I think it's a human style of music. So it works. That's all I know.
Right. So true. Well, this is great, guys. What we normally, when we end off a podcast, because this is super, I love what you guys are doing. We're all fans already. I think we haven't heard anything yet.
Right.
And I was eating at the Greek Freak in Toronto, and that food I had to stop eating because I was going to gain 50 pounds on top of that.
What did you eat at the Greek Freak?
I had chicken souvlaki pita, which was delicious. Fucking delicious.
Call the Hero Queen and bring her over there.
I told Euro Queen, she saw it, and I posted. And rap music, which is fantastic. So what we do now, guys, is that we're gonna Forty does a thing where he's gonna ask you guys some questions about yourselves.
Yeah, definitely.
Ari takes it home, but I just want to say this has been great to have you guys on the show. And I'm going to give it over to our friend Fortios Stamos, who's not related to John Stamos.
He wishes.
She's better looking than John Stamos.
Oh,
there you said that with a straight face? Wow.
Are you guys drinking? Because I'm drinking. No, gentlemen, this has been great and very inspirational because for us, hosting platforms like this where we want to connect with Greeks all over that are doing interesting and amazing work, you fit the category of doing interesting and also inspiring work, especially in your age group. You're a lot younger than us, and it's great to keep that flame going of our Greek culture in different genres. But as Angelo had said, we always like to ask questions to get to know our guests a little better. We ask these really random questions about, as Greeks. But I want to ask a couple different questions that we normally ask Angelo from our guests because, I kind of connect with the boys because we grew up in urban areas and hip hop was a big part of our upbringing. My first question to the boys is that outside of rapping and writing about Greek hip hop, who was your iconic or mentor rap artist outside of Greek artists growing up?
Okay, I'm going to give this pass to Dimitri because Dimitri is the artist. He can tell us who he liked.
Who was your inspiration growing up in the hip hop scene?
The thing is, I like some old school guys like 50 Cent, stuff like that. 50 Cent for me is like the top guy. But
love 50 Cent. 50 Cent really took it home here for us too, because when we used to do a lot of Greek nights, towards the end of our Greek nights, we would add hip hop, and 50 Cent was always part of that ending of every evening. Anybody else that maybe you can mention?
Jay-Z, like all these guys, but mostly I hear like the new guys that are coming now and stuff like that.
Gotcha. All right, cool.
I don't listen to a lot of old school rappers and stuff like that.
Excellent. Now, my second question is still related to music outside of hip hop. How about any iconic Greek artist that's not in the hip hop scene that you enjoy or look up to?
To be honest with you, man, the old school Greek and stuff, like I don't listen to it at all, man. to be really honest.
Well, when you grew up as a kid.
Listen to them. I don't blame them, man. Fuck it.
Yeah, but this is what it's all about. It's getting to know our guests.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's honest. I dig it, Dimitri. You're honest, buddy. I love it.
But maybe he couldn't find inspiration in those things, and that's why he is doing his own thing and kind of doing his own, bringing this to the forefront because he wasn't finding inspiration in other stuff. That happened,
Yeah.
Every single musical artist in the history of the world is always like, who inspires you and what got you into this? Maybe nothing really inspired you. Maybe you like this music and you have music in your head that you want to get out, and that's what inspires you. So perfectly fine answers. You don't have to listen to old school people. Go ahead.
I was watching something today on TikTok where they were playing like famous 90s songs, and they had probably 22, 23-year-olds on the line. So if they knew it, they'll go to the right, and if they didn't, they'll go to the left. And there were some really good 90s songs, Angela. You should have saw that. And nobody knew these songs. Nobody knew. And you're like, oh my God, I think this is the point where we have to say we're getting old, right? We're getting old, and there's a new generation that's coming up. And it's common sense for somebody like Dimitri, which is only 23 years old, not to listen to that type of music that we grew up with, right?
It makes sense. It makes sense. But if anybody asks you, Dimitri, who's your favorite old school comedian, you got to say Angelo because he's going to get very upset.
Better say it.
For sure.
No, we like that.
To be honest with you, Angelo is the only...
What do you mean old school comedian?
Old school?
Yeah, I said that
Can you just say old comedian?
Fucking old,
excuse me, Dimitris is 23 years old, man.
Old school comedian. Just say fucking comedian.
He's 23 years old. You're ancient history.
Oh man!
So the truth is, I met Angelo like 20 years ago. Dimitri was 3 years old, so that's why we know that we're like really old, you know. But he is. Listen. I think age is just a number, right?
Yeah.
Everybody enjoys what they're doing, and I think this is what's important. This is what we forgot to say. It's that what I see from the people that we are around us, they really enjoy the music, and I think that's what you want. You have to be very passionate about what you're doing. The good point is a good point. You shouldn't be really not listening. Obviously, you should be getting credit to the sounds that are out there and people that are creating. But to create, you want to bring something different. Right. So to bring something different, you want to be able to bring your own style, your own vision, your own kind of again, sound is important. But once you start listening to things, you start duplicating. And then it just becomes the same thing cycling, right?
Yep.
You're creating something new. You have to get inspired from your own self.
Yeah, you don't want to be somebody who remixes. You want to be somebody who creates.
Right, exactly. And then it's important. That is very important and that's how people pop. And this is what's happening now. Like in Greece right now, as we said, the past 2 years, the rap has really, really took off. It was really bad before. Nobody wanted to listen to it, even in Greece. Nobody will go to clubs. Nobody will go to events. Even the artists that were performing.
The old school stuff is more depressing, you know, in Greece. The rap and stuff they were doing. They talk about the crisis. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I like more of the new school vibe, you know, club, girls, stuff like that, new beats.
I like the way you think.
Yeah.
What else?
Uplifting, yeah.
Stuff like Angelics too, no? You like the uplifting, the little papa, not the, oh my God, cara, like you said, cara. I think it's a little bit depressing, right? But everybody has their own, like it's a life, right? If you're down, you want to listen to cara. If you're very happy, I guess you're going to listen to Deems, right? You want the girls, you want the nightlife. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be down.
All right. I mean, guys, this was awesome. Honestly, like we got to get you guys back and get anybody from your team as well. I'd love to see how you guys progress, like what you guys are doing, and always like let us know. Keep us updated with everything you do. You release anything, you're touring, you're doing whatever. Let us know because we would love to talk to you guys. We would love to promote it from our end as well. So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you guys for having us.
Our pleasure.
We have a new summer track. Next month is going to be ready to drop.
Oh, awesome. Definitely let us know.
There's that drop.
And we're gonna share all your information. I'm gonna shoot you guys an email after this, and we'll get all the information. We'll have the information in the podcast and the video. We'll put it on all our platforms. We'll let you know everywhere it's gonna be. And we just want to say once again, thank you guys for your time. Thanks for being with us. I want to thank Angelo. I want to thank Foti. I want to thank everybody out there who's watching and listening. Check out these guys. Follow them. Do everything. Listen. Watch. All that stuff. You're going to hear much more from them. And we want to thank everybody out there. Thanks again. Have a good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Bye, guys. See you, boys. Thank you, boys.
Bye-bye.